And we're live with the first episode of the Vacuous Perspective.
It's as easy as that. Val, you're looking good.
Oh yeah, you're looking good. We're both looking good.
Looking great.
Got a lot of shit to talk about.
So much. Can't wait for it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so what's the latest?
What's the latest? Man, I got nothing, man. I made some notes.
Oh, notes.
But don't you keep some sort of journal?
Yeah, I've got a journal going on.
Is there anything in the journal for this?
Man, what's weird about the journal is I've got about 3 of them now. I've been doing it for about 2 years. And I rarely ever go back and look at anything. Sometimes I wonder why I'm doing it.
You will go back and look at it.
Very rarely. Sometimes I wonder, like, Christian and I will talk about what I did for my birthday last year or something, and then I'll go, because it's all by date. I just go through and write the date, then just write a couple of things. So I can you can find a date easy, but if you're looking for an event or something in particular, you can't, because it's not digital. I can't control F and search for it.
Oh, well, I'm sure you could digitize it.
Oh, man. I mean, you know what you should do is just scan it, send it off to someone in India.
No. You just scan it, and an app would do it. Right?
No, you can't. This is dog shit writing.
So you're going to give it to someone you don't know then?
I know, it'll be awkward. And what happens if I became famous? And then...
Well, the journal's got out.
Yeah, the journal. But I haven't written in there, you know, some horrendously embarrassing thing.
So what's the problem if the journal gets out?
I don't know. There's probably no, not really. There could be some embarrassing things in here. I wouldn't really want someone leafing through it.
Oh no, definitely not. I found an old book recently. Opened it.
You found one.
Yeah, and it looks completely empty. It's like a book with blank pages. There's no lines drawn or anything. It's just a blank notepad, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I've definitely got things in this notepad. There's definitely some ideas in this notepad, right?
Yeah.
And I start flicking through it, and I know that the first 30-odd pages are going to be blank. I just know that already.
Why the first 30?
Because I would never write in the first page.
You're kidding me.
I would never write.
Hiding the information.
Exactly. It's all sort of strewn through it, right?
Yeah, okay.
End game would be write a whole bunch of gibberish except for those pages, you know? That book gets out. Now we've got a problem.
Oh, I'm not following.
Well, it's not. There's nothing bad in the book.
Yeah.
It's just that there's nothing good in it.
Man, have you ever done, what do you call it? Automatic writing? Have you heard of that?
What is that? What is that? What automatic writing?
I think that's what it's called. I think it's a form of therapy or something. State. I think you just write. You just go. You try not to think about it too much. You just write whatever comes into your mind and just keep writing.
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed to be some kind of therapeutic way of just like kind of getting information out. But I still feel like you're controlling the writing. It's not that automatic. You're still, there's still a thought process going on.
A machine, and it controls my hand or just draws pictures for me based off brain waves. Cool. I'm down. For some automatic writing, I'm down. Let's have that.
Lazy.
Well, you'll get a more accurate. If someone says draw a picture, right? You'll draw a picture, right? But you'll draw a picture thinking, I have to draw a picture that this person's going to look at, right? Whereas your brain drawing a picture is an automatic process.
Yeah.
You're not involved really. Well, you are involved. You are you still, but your brain is going to do something different to what you would do if you were asked to draw a picture.
Yeah, it's like you have a whole bunch of thoughts and you'll communicate only a fraction of that in the way that you want to, knowing that it's
in the way that you truly are or feel, right?
This is the scary thing about if you're just connected via the what's Elon Musk's
chuck a chip in it. Yeah. The
Neuralink, instant communication. I don't understand that. That's going to cause issues with that. Yeah, no one wants to be honest.
No, not machine honest. Not the level of honesty that a machine would deem required in the circumstances. So in essence, yeah, if you're just thinking, the most efficient thing to do now is to say this, so you just say it, and it's
no one wants a brain dump of just everything someone's thinking instantaneously.
No, I mean, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that just yet, though. We're talking about just a brain interfacing with a computer or a mobile phone or whatever, right? You're tethered to your device, right? That's essentially what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So in the same way that you could record a voice message and send it to me, that would be doable. But it's not going to take my brain waves and just give you a direct feed.
Why not?
It will eventually.
Yeah, okay.
It will eventually.
Okay, now, the most effective way of, not the most effective, but a very effective way of conveying information is watching a video, right? Because you got the picture, you got a moving picture, and you got audio.
Sure, I guess that's a thing. Yeah,
right. And I love my YouTube. Watch a bunch of YouTube stuff. Could you, if you're watching YouTube via Neuralink, can I just watch a 15-minute video in
like speed run
15 seconds, and I still get all the nuance of it, or do I still have to watch the video in its full form?
1.0 no, 3.0 yes. So Neuralink 1.0, the consumer grade edition that people will chuck in their heads and be early adopters.
Are they at 1.0?
No.
So they're at 0.2. They're like us with our podcast.
Exactly.
0.3.
Yeah, well, that's giving us a lot of cred because they've done a lot more than us so far.
The proof is in the pudding. We have physical.
Yeah, we put a number on it.
Yep, and we've got the data. We can say if someone says, with all this talk about Neuralink, I'm like, where is it?
True.
Where is it? Show me some actual. I want to see monkeys.
Well, you've seen it. You've seen it. Well, that's Well, they're not communicating, but you've seen the monkey playing the video game.
Right, is that? Oh, I've seen the monkey with the robot arm. That controls a robot arm.
He's controlling a game to earn him a banana smoothie, yeah? And if he completes the game or whatever, or does the task, he gets a bit of banana smoothie delivered straight to his face, which he loves, by the way. He loves his banana smoothie. So they probably knew that was his favorite. And so when he's playing it, he's using the joystick, right? But then they use the Neuralink to interpret what the brain signals for move the joystick this way and move the joystick this way. It gets interpreted by a computer and delivered directly to the control of the game. Then they unplug the joystick and it's his brain waves playing the game.
Right, okay. And they've already read what brain waves he does to do that movement, and so it's just replicating.
Exactly. So it's just analysing that and going, okay, that's the indication that we recognise as he wants to move the joystick to the left. And all of a sudden he still thinks he's playing with the joystick, but he's not at all.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now.
Monkeys.
3-4 years ago.
Feeding themselves banana smoothies with their brains.
Well, yeah. But the implications for wider use, apart from monkeys playing video games, which I don't encourage them to do, they shouldn't. I can't really talk, but they shouldn't waste time on playing video games for banana smoothies.
Do you reckon a monkey could get to Call of Duty status playing with his mind?
He could, play the game?
Play the game.
Just play the game, do the storyline maybe, do a campaign on the easiest setting? Not giving you enough credit, am I? How much banana smoothie have we got?
Yeah,
because
how much
if
time
we've got
do you
enough
have?
banana smoothie, then I reckon he'll do the whole thing easy.
Speed run.
He'll be
Mario 64.
Yeah. I mean,
He wants that banana smoothie. Got to withhold that banana smoothie.
They were playing Pong, like a very simple game or whatever. He was playing Pong, which, he would love Call of Duty. If he likes Pong, if he thought that was a good game, he would fucking love a good shooter game.
Man, you know what's funny, right? The shooter games we play, very addictive. I'm not getting any banana smoothie. Where's my banana
you get
smoothie?
virtual banana smoothie. You get the virtual pat on the head.
I get the dopamine banana smoothie.
Exactly. When the
dopamine
sound
smoothie.
comes on, when you level up or whatever,
Yeah.
that's your little banana smoothie.
Man, I'm onto these games as well, right? You know when you get close to dying but you don't die, that's the best dopamine release. Right?
So surviving.
So I'm noticing it with heaps of games. Like, I don't really play them. There was one you were playing recently, one where you have to like you inject vials into yourself to regen health and stuff like that. Almost like, I think it's in, I don't know if it's Valorant or
maybe.
some other ones.
I did play that one a while back.
Yeah, there's just a lot. I can see him there. Now I see through it. I'm watching the game and I'm like, man, these guys think I'm a fucking idiot. They're like really playing, not an idiot, but like I think they're taking the almost dying thing too far. Like sometimes
you think that games are being built around your thing about not dying or something? Why do you like not dying?
Yeah, no, because it's you want to live. You want to live in the video game,
yeah,
right?
but you can live without getting shot up.
No, but then the best is when you almost die, but you live, and then you get the dopamine hit. If you run around, there's no threat of dying. If you're like when you're playing what's that, Mario Kart, right? And you become invincible with the star, and you're flashing rainbow, and the music starts playing. There's no threat of you dying. Actually, that's probably a bad example because that's probably pretty exciting. I do get
that would be pretty exciting. Yeah. Getting a star is always pretty exciting, no matter what the Mario game.
No, but anyway, I think I'm onto them. And
but you are onto them, but like they've been doing this the whole time.
Yeah, so dopamine is our banana smoothie. It's a weird, interesting way of thinking about it.
Well, do you think he has dopamine releases when he gets
the banana smoothie? Yes. If they could make the game stimulating enough to the monkey that he wants to, because right now there's no incentive for him to win Pong because he doesn't know what he's playing. He doesn't know. If
he wins, he gets a banana smoothie. Like if he gets a goal or whatever.
But if you took the banana smoothie away, he doesn't just want to win. He doesn't want to beat the hardest level of Pong. He hasn't reached that kind of.
Yeah.
Why does anyone want to complete a video game?
For the sound effects that you hear when you win.
You can tell people.
The monkey though, right? Where if at the end of a 10-point game, like he wins or loses, right? And if he wins, the game goes.
He can't count. He can't count the score.
Doesn't matter. If at the 10-point mark it goes ba-da-ding for a win or ba-dum for a loss, right? And he doesn't know what is good or not, and there's no banana smoothie. Will he work out that that the win sound is better and therefore his prime objective? Yeah. Or does he go, I like the badum sound, it's fun. I'll just lose on purpose. Or not lose on purpose, but just I play until I lose and then hear the good sound or the bad sound. Like I play until the end and I don't know what will happen for whether or not it's a good or bad one.
It reminds me of racehorses.
Yeah.
I always wonder whether they know they win or if they want to win.
Sure.
Because
Jerry Seinfeld does win on it. Yeah.
Does he?
About racehorses. Yeah. Whether or not they know
the oat bag, right?
The oat bag. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Same situation then. Let's say if the horse wins, the trainers give them 2 oat bags. But if they don't win, they get 1 oat bag. And over time they realize that if they win, double the oat bags.
Oh man, I would put the oat bag at the finish line, so the horse is under no. They know exactly why they're running there. They're like the oat bag's there. It's right there, right? If you have like a 15-minute, 1 hour, if you shout like the horse has the presentations, it has a shower. And then you give it the oat bag. The link between winning and the oat bag has been eroded, right? So maybe it doesn't fully. But if you put the oat bag on like a dangly string, at the finish line,
true,
that is how you're going to get Far Lap 2.0.
I guess the example would be like a dog with a treat, right? If it did something good and you're trying to train it to do that thing good, you wouldn't go, cool, in 2.5 hours, I'll give it a nice treat. you give it to it straight away. So have the trainers at the end of the line with oat bags,
carrots,
open.
A female horse that it likes.
Everything. Give it like it's a champion.
Stud it immediately.
That's probably.
Also has victorious sperm in its swimming. Hey, Luffingham, speaking of racehorses, thoroughbreds. So he's neutered, right? He's got no balls.
Yeah. But by the way, this is your dog, right?
Yeah.
Right, not someone else. Yeah, well,
no, yeah. Well, you don't neuter a human, right? Unless
you normally don't.
It's Hitler or something. So Luff doesn't hump things since he's been neutered. He's lost that instinct, right? And I find that he's got a very keen sense of smell, like all dogs do. Apparently, he was staying at this family's house down the road from us when we were away in Exmouth last week, and there's this dog next door that a female dog that hasn't been. Do you neuter a female dog or just desex it, whatever? So it's on heat, right? And he got himself a girlfriend. He wanted to. He was going her, right?
Oh, he's back.
He's back. I've never seen him hump anything since he's had his balls cut, but he hasn't come across a dog on heat. So it's inbuilt. I found it fascinating that the smell, right? The signal he got. We're talking about oat bags now. This is the ultimate oat bag. this like triggered him to the point that although he doesn't even know what the fuck, he doesn't even have any balls, all that to test. Imagine if he had balls and he came across this thing. He would rape the thing silly.
Well, yeah. But are they giving out the pheromones that say, hey, come?
Yeah. They're giving them out. But like, and it worked. And I'm surprised. It's like Luff he hasn't trained for this, right?
No.
Just built in biological signals.
A lot of years of, many generations, I guess. Yeah.
I suppose, look, if that doesn't happen, then the species doesn't propagate.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those examples where the proof's in the pudding, like he exists, therefore.
It's a strong signal, right?
Of course.
Strong. He has no training, hasn't done it in years. He doesn't know what he's doing. He cops a whiff of a scent and he's on her.
Wow. That's biology, isn't it?
But I mean, I haven't had that. I don't walk past someone in the street and just think, it's time to go.
Look,
maybe not to that degree.
The signal Luff must have got, must have been so gnarly, We can't quantify this gnarliness.
We can't.
Because we're too far removed, unfortunately, from the animal kingdom. I mean, not unfortunately, but from the animal kingdom, so that we don't. But also, like, if Luff had just gone up to her, and said, "Hello, my name is Luffingham. How are you?" And she said, "Fine, thank you. How are you?" And he said, "Fine, very fine, thank you." And maybe asked them to, go hang out or something. And they sort of like retired to another place nearby and then did it. Yeah, that would be fine, right? But you don't like as humans, we don't like the whole look. He's seen it. He's got the signal and he's pounced on it.
He's just gone for it.
No. But like, we're only applying our human standards to this poor animal who is only doing like what he's
born, evolved to do.
Yeah, exactly. Evolved to do. That's probably the best way to put it. How dare us? How dare us apply these human standards to a member of the animal kingdom who, I don't know what to call.
Well, we've covered monkeys, racehorses, dogs. I think we got it all figured out.
Yeah.
All right, we can wrap it up then.
I think you know what? I don't know what else is worth really. But I was thinking about something the other day.
Yeah.
that headless frogs for organs thing. Do you remember that?
No.
So they were
Headless?
in the 1990s. They were cloning headless frogs to see if they could use those headless frogs to harvest organs to presumably give to other sick frogs who needed like a transplant or something, right?
Cloning a headless frog.
In the hope that you could clone a headless human to harvest its organs.
Okay. Oh, geez.
And
How does it grow? Is it like without a head?
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I heard it on an old stand-up thing, and then was like, well, that can't be real. So I typed it into Google, and it's real.
Mm.
So that's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't know how they grow.
Yeah,
probably in a headless mother. You would have thought.
Need to have headless genes.
No, but is that all right?
A headless frog?
No, if like, let's say I could donate my body to science, right? And I just go, yeah, you can take everything but the head, right? And right. The hope is, I guess, to then clone that so that you can have heaps of livers and heaps of lungs, like a direct clone, I guess, headless. So that I guess you could, have hearts on the, ready to rock, essentially.
You would be Boba Fett. Aren't all the stormtroopers clones of...
Not the stormtroopers, but all the clone troopers were clones of Boba Fett's dad, who technically is still the same guy because he's a direct clone. Because he kept one.
So you would be the Boba Fett of the organ world.
Yeah, well, I was only using my... I'm not in. I don't want it.
No.
But
are you even an organ donor?
I don't think I am, dude.
I don't think I am. I want to. I just don't think I tick the box or whatever.
It's the box.
Do you have to renew it? I think I did on my first license. I don't know.
No, if you did it, I think I've done it, man. I think I've done it. I think I did it when I first got my license, dude.
Yeah, maybe. I think I did. But then I remember being asked the question at some point, and I was like, "Oh, fuck! I thought I was."
But not right now, right? They didn't say, "Can we have your organs now?" It's only in the event of your death, right, or near death.
I got a call from MyGov. They said, "You're up.
Give us a lung.
Yeah, we need someone. Did you come through with this one?"
No, but you talked about Neuralink earlier, Clark. Would you get chip in your head 1.0?
Oh, not 1.0.
Like retail, retail. It's 100% safe. It's no problem with it. 100% safe.
I got an iPhone 4.
Yep.
So I think I'd get Neuralink 4.0. Based on that data.
Okay. 4.0.
Yep.
You'll be left behind, bro. We'll all be like chilling.
That's right. I'll still have my Nokia.
We'll be on Mars or something, man.
3310. Go to Mars.
No, I'm thinking like if they said it's a direct interface, like it'll just make using your phone instantaneous, and you won't even have to think about it or whatever. Let's say that's where it's at. You can just do all that, and you'll be able to do computers stuff with your head.
Look, I need to see what people can do. I need feedback from people. I need to talk to people that have it, but they're always going to talk positively about it because they're in the system now, right? They want you to become one of them.
Yeah,
it's like vaccinated people.
Yeah. But like that'd be you'd be in a really weird spot if 95% of the people around you had chips in their head and you didn't. Yeah, that would be weird, Clark.
I'd be very poor. There won't be any poor people without chips in their head. There won't be any rich people without chips in their head.
Without chips in their head?
Without chips in their head, because the people with the chips will get all the money.
You reckon? It's going to do? You reckon the chip's going to do brain stuff? Like
well, if it's going to, but you're going to be able to
You really think so?
Because you can interface with technology faster. I can buy and sell stocks faster. I can sort of set up automatic things where like the news comes out.
You could do that.
The cash rate, has risen or fallen by more than was predicted. Yeah, I know you can do that now, but like but I know I could do it now, but I don't, because I don't have the bandwidth in my brain, and once I have the bandwidth.
You think it's a bandwidth problem?
Yeah. Once I'm a computer, I'm moving and shaking all the time. I'm doing things in the background.
Yeah, I mean, not really. What will need doing? That's the thing. Like, imagine if you could instantaneously watch that video like you were talking about before, right? So instead of watching it, you can just say, I'd like to watch that. So it just downloads all the relevant information to your brain and then just gives you that instantaneously. Wouldn't you have just watched YouTube on the first day? Like
there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content.
But what I'm saying is like, if it's all instantaneous,
mate, there's a lot of World Series of Poker that will
queue it up. Queue it up.
That'll take me a couple of days.
Go bang, 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 bang.
Man, how boring would poker be if everyone's making the statistically correct move?
Nah, people sometimes know they're doing something silly and they'll do it anyway, man. Bad poker players, if they don't, it doesn't matter if they know the stats or not. They're going to shove on rubbish, on garbage.
That's true. I was thinking about how I'd like to do I've been watching some World Series of Poker, of course, as I alluded to. And they were talking about there was this Australian bloke, and they were saying how he was playing on a table with Shane Warne during the tournament, obviously not recently, and how he likes cricket, so he was loving Warnie's cricket stories. And these are the American commentators as well, so they're like, they don't.
Wow, they're bigging up Warnie.
Yeah. And I was like, how much does it cost to play? I want to play. Should that be a bucket list item for me? Should I play in a World Series?
100%.
What's it cost? Is it 10K entry?
That's the main event. Yeah, it's usually 10 grand US. Yeah, you should definitely do that. Why wouldn't you do that?
Man, could you imagine?
Because if you made it past, say, day 2 or I think it's day 2. Day one, like half the field
or Phil Helmet.
Day 1, half the field's gone, right? So if you're making it to day 2 is like one of the biggest things you can do, right? So you make it to day 2. You get on a table with Negreanu or Helmuth or something, or Phil Ivey, all right? And just
mouth. I want to play with the
get
mouth.
on the telly, get on the ESPN broadcast and fucking, I don't know, like bust Negreanu or something and ride off into the sunset, bro.
I've got a highlights package.
Yeah, you just need to bust a higher tier target, like a Phil Helmuth, and get him real steamy as well. That'd be a good one.
Do you think that's an advantage to the pro players that people are trying to take him out? Or do you think that's a massive disadvantage because they just play garbage into you to beat you with a 7 deuce?
I think that will be how it works out long term. Yeah,
but that's an advantage, right?
I think it's an advantage for the pro.
You just play tight. Just have the cards.
Yeah, I know, but don't you just think that every tell in poker, and a tell being like, when you're giving away what your intentions are in the hand or whatever you want to say, a counter tell is the same thing, meaning a guy could act like he's trying to bust a pro and then roll him with aces over kings. You know what I mean? Like, just
you still never know what they have, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Even if you think, man, I'm being baited by this amateur, they wouldn't know all the time when it's happening to them, because sooner or later the chump is going to turn over aces and they're going to feel really silly.
Man, the commentators would rip on me. Like, I would make terrible decisions, like conventional.
They wouldn't, man, because you're an Australian. So you'd sit down at the table and they would go, man, this Australian, don't know much about him, but he's got game, making it. They would love it, man. They would love
the Aussie that they were talking about that was chatting with Shane Warne. He's not a pro. I can't remember what his name was, but he graduated. They mentioned he's graduated from the University of Western Australia. And I was like, fuck. I was like, if I was playing, they have that sort of information on me, because obviously they don't have much to go on. So they just have like a couple of like fucking notes, whatever you've submitted to them about who you are.
Or it could have been done after, I guess. They could have got info later. Oh no, they would have known. No, I have no idea how they record that shit.
I get these space.com email updates each day to work, and those have some headlines, and I peruse them. And can you get like photos up or anything, or we can't?
Oh yeah, we can. If you talk about it, just talk about it.
I don't know shit about it, but there's a new Top Gun movie apparently coming out, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
they were talking about whether there's this new spy plane that perhaps makes a cameo in the movie, but it's only like a silhouette. It's a Lockheed Martin. Yeah, it's the SR-72 Dark Star spy plane.
So it's like the Blackbirds.
It's the next one up. The Blackbird's the SR-71. This is the
Why would it be in the
SR-72
movie?
Dark Star. Yeah, man. I want to see it now. I didn't even know there was a new Top Gun.
I heard a rumor about that movie.
Yeah.
All the actors, because Tom Cruise wanted it, I believe.
So is he in it or not?
Yeah. And they're all flying the planes or something, or actually in the plane and taking those G's, basically.
Really? Tom Cruise loves doing his own stuff.
Apparently. This is like a rumor, right?
Yeah.
Why would a Lockheed sponsoring this shit? What's going on?
I don't know. But there's like a silhouette of it taking off. There's just an image of it.
In the trailer or something?
It's just in this article. I just clicked it and I was like, oh fuck yeah. And they just have a still from the movie. It says the trailer. It says the trailer.
Okay, so it might be in the movie then.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. So it says here, hints at a potential cameo by Lockheed Martin's SR-72 hypersonic stealth plane in development stage now. Yeah, I was like,
why, dude?
I mean, what information? What are the Chinese going to reverse engineer?
Why?
Maybe it's like good for their business.
Yeah, sponsorship.
Yeah, so maybe you'll get some. You'll get more private investor money or something. I don't know if they.
Yeah, maybe put Tom Cruise face on the next Lockheed. When you in your sales package, just have Tom. The investors are keen, but they just wish Tom Cruise was in the cockpit. So if we could organise that, that'd be great.
I want one.
Hey, that would actually be quite fascinating. A story, like a movie about the guys in SR-71s or whatever, like the actual ones that fly really high in the sky. Because nothing gets done about that sort of element of the spy world. It's always the guy with the flash car and the PP7, your Jason Bournes or whatever, Jason Bournes and all the rest. I want like a spy pilot guy in the 21st century, Be very interesting.
I want to.
Oh, there's something else about space, Clark. You might be aware that the James Webb Telescope is fully unfolded.
Pretty aligned. It's fully unfolded, and it's almost completed its alignments.
And what are we aligning to?
Well, no, it's the mirrors need to. Firstly,
yeah. But what are we aiming at again?
The commencement of the universe.
Okay, and for what?
Often with science, it's a good question. I don't know, but often with science, you don't know what you're going to find when you do it. So the results can be quite surprising. So you do things with some ideas in mind, and then normally the most useful information is stuff you're actually not looking for, but because you've gone that deep.
Yeah, gotcha.
So one thing they had to wait for the instruments to cool to almost I think it's pretty close to absolute zero. So what they do is the way they did that is have you seen pictures of the
yeah.
See how looks like there's got these sheets, these 5 sheets that are sort of alfoil, like really thin looking kind of alfoily sheets. If you get a photo of it, you'll So they are the basically a heat shield, and what they do is that always faces the sun, and each one of those each one of those sheets has like SPF 1,000,000, and on one side of the sun facing side, it will be like maybe not hot. I don't know exactly. It might, maybe it'll be hot, but on the other side where there's the instruments and the mirrors, they're like, below negative 200, like approaching absolute zero. I don't know how close they get, but they need to be very, very cold. And so they've just been waiting for the instruments to cool.
For this, okay, yep, done, right? Are we done?
They're pretty close.
Okay, and we're aiming it at the commencement of the universe, right?
It's light. Yeah, it's light from the big. Basically, light from.
No. Come on, man.
bro.
No, man.
Yes.
Okay. I was talking about this with somebody else the other day. Isn't that light gone?
Hey?
Isn't that light gone ages ago?
No.
What do you mean no?
So the visible universe, right?
Yeah.
So the universe that we can see, is only the visible universe, because it's only light that has been traveling since the beginning. It doesn't really make intuitive sense, and nor can I explain it. But perhaps there is light outside the visible universe that has never actually reached to where we are, because it's too far away. There hasn't been enough time. Do you know what I mean?
But if we're here and we're on a rock, and that formed over billions of years, and that light, like if I imagine the Big Bang as like, the light from the Big Bang, let's say, as being explosive in all directions, let's say, just a single piece of light, and it goes bang, then that's gone like ages ago.
It's still out there traveling. Light from the Big Bang is traveling out.
So are we pointing it at the edge of the universe and then being like, we're going to find light?
Yeah, I don't really know. But that's the theory. So like, I understand that, when you see static on your TV, your old TVs, and you're on in between channels and it's like staticky.
Yeah.
My understanding is that
this is that one. I know this one.
It's picking up background radiation from the Big Bang.
Sure, but that's not what the television was like. Used to watch.
No,
shows. It wasn't built to get the radiation or whatever from the Big Bang. But is that true, or is that just what people say about I think is that true?
I think I have it on good authority from what I recall. I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. I'm going with that.
This is how your old television set can prove.
I can't explain any of this shit because I don't. Yeah, I just read bits about it and have no idea. But they even the guys who are behind the James Webb Space Telescope describe it as a time machine.
Yes,
because you're looking back to, and I'm pretty sure they say the beginning of the universe is what they're trying to look at.
Yes, I understand that.
I know what you mean. If we're say we're in any given point of the universe, we don't know where that started, so we're not at the edge, right? That's what you're saying. We're not at the edge of it, and it started somewhere, and we're detecting. We didn't start 3.7. Yeah, exactly.
We're in the middle of it. Yeah.
So, but space is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's very weird, and time is relative.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, but here's something that might interest you then.
Yeah.
You know how we've got fiber cables? They're just a laser that fires information down a cable, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I looked it up. The laser, is traveling, the information is
300
2/3 C.
Million. 2/3 C. Okay. So why is it going slow? What's it traveling through? It's not because
light speed of light. So it's bouncing around. It's bouncing around. Yeah.
Right. And light in a vacuum is that 300 million meters per second.
Yeah, the C.
That's C. Yeah.
So currently humans, right? We can achieve 2/3 C, right?
Right.
Well, not even currently. Just with what we've got, in your house. Right. So I was thinking, right, if we could put let's say a robot, yeah, with a blank hard drive on it, it's got arms, it's got legs, right, and then we shoot. Let's say we develop technology, that we can make we can make a laser or whatever travel at, over 1C, like,
let's not
2C.
Let's not
2C.
be ridiculous. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'll suspend disbelief.
Yes, that's what that is required for this little bit at the end here. Now, if I were to digitize someone's consciousness, onto a hard drive and transmit that 2C to old mate's robot.
Yep.
What the fuck just happened?
Okay, I can one up you there.
Go on, go.
Okay, so you know quantum entanglement, the idea of it.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So that is, if you can separate these.
Should explain it. You should explain it very briefly. Explain the brief part.
So I don't understand exactly how, but you can entangle two electrons, separate. So one spinning one way, one spinning the other.
Yep.
You can separate it as much as you want,
distance.
any distance, across the universe, one side or the other. And when you change the spin on one, or I guess you change because I think it's spinning one way or the other, basically. Then
the other one
will automatically change the spin on the other.
Instantaneously.
Instantaneously.
Okay.
So
This is
Einstein didn't like it. It's 100% proven. So the idea is, this is what a quantum computer is, because it's instantaneous. You're not dealing with the speed of light anymore. So a quantum computer is using entanglement of electrons to instantaneously transmit information. So you could, if you can, because that's information, right? That's binary. Is it spinning one way or is it spinning the other?
Yep.
So you've now got it. You can code. We code in computers are binary anyway. So now you just have to fucking use
what? Code in electrons? What does that mean?
No, binary. Like, so it's, we use the 0-1 system. Yep. So if you imagine the 0-1 is just it's spinning one way or it's spinning the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you entangle electrons across the universe. You got two computers, and the data can instantaneously, because you can change the electrons in one, and it'll, so
this has applications not only for your fridge, your fridge talking to your other devices, but it also has applications for Mars to Earth communication, or
it's basically instantaneously transmitting information. So it's like,
it's kind of what we've been talking about with the downloading thing as well, right? It'd be like, if it's instantaneous, oh boy, it's going to be limited by the hardware on either side. That's what a friend of mine said. We don't have the power to take in that into our regular systems, if that makes sense.
No. But have you heard all this bullshit, like all these sort of ideas, I'm pretty sure stem from this physicist Michio Kaku?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of him?
Of course.
He's nutty,
famous astrophysicist, right?
Yeah. I don't really know what he's done, but he's super famous. He's got this book, and it's, I forget the name of it now, but it's like divided into 3 parts. And I may have mentioned this to you before. It's like the first kind of, I wouldn't call it chapter, I'll call it like sort of volume, is about technologies that are within the realm of physics as we understand it, but we haven't reached it. Okay, and that's fascinating, because you're like, well, we will achieve those technologies, because it's kind of like just an extension of what we're doing, and if we just keep working on, we'll get there. So that's pretty crazy, because some of the shit in there is fucking wild,
Yeah, of course.
And I think this kind of stuff's in there, right? So this is like the beginning of it, and then the next volume is technology that is, I don't know if I'm butchering this. It's within it. I think the first volume is more like things that will be achieved in like sort of like 100 to a couple of 100 years if you just continue at this sort of rate or whatever, which is obviously impossible to predict. But then I think the next volume is things that are within. Oh, this is right. The next one is things that are within the laws of physics as we know them, but we don't know how to do it. So that's a huge step because we're like, oh, theoretically, that's basically theoretically we can do this because it doesn't violate any of the laws as long as we're right about it. We just don't know how to do it.
This is that whole like we got known knowns, we've got known unknowns, you know? We've got, you know, things that if they're theoretically possible, yeah, all right, okay, we just need some time to work on the tech or whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then the last volume is kind of like really fanciful in that it's things that you would have to either be able to bend the laws of physics as we know them or be wrong about them so that, others.
Sure.
And so it's good because it puts things into like it kind of now separates the real science fiction, like the stuff that is just impossible, from the stuff which is actually real science fiction.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Science fact.
Well, yeah, eventual science fact.
Yeah,
right? No, but does it say anything in that book about teleportation? Are we going to be porting ourselves onto like spaceships? Is that happening?
Do you know we've teleported beryllium atoms?
I knew that we've teleported, like how far across a table or something.
Well, with quantum entanglement, that codes information, and they use that somehow that coded information.
Come on, we can't just use somehow when we're talking about teleportation.
I don't know. They did like a handful of beryllium atoms. They teleported them, but they said so. This is in the book, I'm sure, because I remember now that so I'm thinking about it more, going into it. I think this was the idea that that it's within the idea of teleportations within. I think this came in volume 2 because it's within the laws as we know them because we've shown we can do it. But the idea is we can't put them all together. Right now, the reason why it's in volume 2 is we don't know how to put them all together in the same order and to the same degree of accuracy that you would need to, like if you teleported a body, obviously, it's not a handful of beryllium atoms.
No, of course not. But something else, something not living, perhaps.
Yeah, just a
tree or something. Let's get a tree in there. Plonk it on Mars.
Saying a tree's not
and
living?
Then times that by 5 billion.
Man, can you imagine we just teleported just like a fucking block of, I don't know, titanium or something? Just where would we send it?
Well, I would imagine the teleporter would
obviously need the infrastructure on the other side.
You need the infrastructure on both sides, yeah. So I'd imagine it's some sort of machine that quantumly entangles you with yourself.
Bro, this is Stargate, right? Some guys smoked a bunch of weed. We're talking about this, and they're like, "Oh, the aliens drop off a teleporting device."
Don't get me started about Stargate, man. Stargate's fucking genius, bro.
Yeah, I used to love it. I watched bits of it, but I never watched it all.
No. I'm just talking about from the perspective of how to make a show, right?
Oh, really?
Because they made the movie, right? And the movie had was it Kurt Russell as Jack O'Neill?
Was the movie first?
Movie was first, yeah. Okay. Movie was first. Yeah. Kurt Russell, the guy from James Spader, he was Daniel Jackson. Right. James Spader, he was in those. He's pretty big. Yeah. And the movie, right, is about how the aliens enslaved humans to build stuff.
Yeah.
And then the Earth people shut their gate to the gods because they were evil. And them finding the Stargate, reactivating it, and going to the other side, right? So in that sort of story, there's no millions of Stargates around the universe. There's just that one setup, right? Because they came to Earth. That was the story of Earth's kind of beginnings, right? But all they did is when they did the show, they were like, man, we need a way to have millions of worlds to go to so we can have millions of episodes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
So what they did is they had, because at the end of the movie, I don't know if this is spoiler territory, but Daniel Jackson's character, James Spader, ends up staying because he's found this lady who he really likes and he's going to stay in old Egypt, like Abydos, right? He's going to stay there.
Do they look human on the other side? I don't remember the movie.
Yeah, they're just humans. They're just humans. They're slaves. They're slaves. I think they were kidnapping humans.
Do you know how disappointed I would be if we went I went into a fucking teleporter, some bloody Stargate bullshit. Pop out the other side and everyone's human.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty weird.
Well, firstly, it'd be it'd be kind of.
Well, they would have to be because they built the infrastructure on the other side for you.
No, but you could have an alien that drops the infrastructure here, right? And then we use the teleporter and you go there.
Hell yeah.
I'd be so sad though, because I'd be expecting, I'd be like, what wild stuff am I going to see? I mean, it would be like going back to ancient Egypt and they're playing Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, you just walk in, like there's a Macca's, there's
you'd be fuck, there's fast food. I mean, damn, like they're selling shares and
and there's poverty and war and destruction all around, but no one seems to give a shit.
I thought I was going to find some high society, and they're all going to be like sort of meditating and like drinking lotus tea.
But we're getting to the point now where we're going to be like the aliens that they used to think about in the 60s when they're like telepathically communicating with each other. That'll be us. So we are pretty fucking alien, already.
We certainly are.
But in the Stargate at the end, right, when Daniel Jackson's staying with his lady, all they did was they said, hey, in a month's time, we'll open up the gate and see if you're okay or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because they closed the gate on Earth side, I think. And so he sends back a little note that says, bring more tissues because he's got allergies, which is a little cute thing.
So he sends a note back.
And through the Stargate. They open up the gate and he ditches a note through.
And they don't have tissues over there.
No. It was a joke because he's got allergies. They were just like, "Here, send more tissues."
I thought he was serious. I was like,
"Nah, he's just trying to say that it's me. It's me, Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, right,
it's not some other random guy."
Yeah, okay. I probably need to see it. I mean, I've seen it.
It's a really good movie. Yeah. And then they go in, and he goes, "Let me show you something." And he goes into this room, and it's just got all these fucking Stargate addresses on the wall, like a map room. Of the universe.
Oh, is that the end of the movie?
And then you've got your fucking TV show.
Yeah, okay.
Boom.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty epic. That's pretty good. Spin-off TV show.
Well, they just went, how can we make shitloads of money out of this? We need more places to go. Someone walked into the room and said, hey, guys, map room. They go, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, map room, dude. There's a big fucking map room with all these symbols in it, and the symbols go into the Stargate. What, like a dialing thing, like a phone? Exactly like a phone, bro. But they're all like, yeah. It was a great show.
Man, this reminds me of, have you heard of the Egyptian hieroglyphs? They're in like fucking rural New South Wales or something, like Gosford or something like that.
I have heard about this.
Yeah.
I have heard about this. Well, I mean, I wasn't, upon first looking, I wasn't convinced that they were Egyptian hieroglyphs.
I wasn't, and I'm not. But do you, like it's in, there's always multiple, and you don't have people are full of shit or whatever. But I have also, because I think on Wikipedia I wasn't wowed by them. I can't even remember what book I first saw it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, I'd never heard of that, never heard of it. And the Wikipedia entry didn't pique my interest in the slightest. And I don't know whether, I don't know what's right? But there was the other thing I read that really piqued my interest is this guy reckons, and who knows his credentials. I'm not saying, again, suspend disbelief. He is of the view that the grammar used in the hieroglyphs is the nuance, and the way they use it is representative of like a very old style of Egyptian writing that he says he thinks that someone couldn't have I guess, like if you're just a part-time Egypt, like if you look at some hieroglyphs and you think, oh, I'm going to play a bit of a joke here, I might copy some stuff or whatever, take some things and put it somewhere else. He thinks it would take someone that has an intimate understanding of Egyptian glyphs to use the nuance in the way they did. And again, this is, who knows, sounds like kind of bullshit to me, but that piqued my interest because I was like, oh, here we go, we've got someone that like that's pretty cool if that is true. Like that kind of gives it a whisker of credibility.
But just having a quick glance again, they were discovered in like the 1970s.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And the authenticity section on Wikipedia sort of goes into a point where the guys, like, there's an Australian professor of Egyptology who stated that they are not authentic and that they were constructed in the early 1980s, concluding the glyphs were the same panels were of widely different periods, and some were carved backwards. Other theories of their creation include high school students who copied them in textbooks.
And that's probably
an immigrant with an interest in Egyptology who etched them in the 1980s. So,
well, I mean, and you know what? With that, the whole idea that normally the most likely thing is sort of the, you know,
they're really good though. Some of them are really good. Like they've carved it into rock, right? The one that got me right is that they've got a picture where it's clearly like an Ankh symbol, or like close enough to an Ankh.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that.
Yeah, I would do that too. And the Horus lying down sort of thing, the little coffin for Horus. And that appears to be with the square around it like a cartouche.
Again, I would do that. See, that doesn't excite me at all. I guess it would be someone saying that there was some kind of, you know, nuance to it that would give it some credibility. But I mean, that's what I know. I looked at the Wikipedia thing at some point, and I remember thinking that I was like, my inspiration dropped very quickly from.
No, but here's the fun part. It says, but there are still attempts to prove the belief that they were carved by the ancient Egyptians 4,500 years ago, right? All right, so I'd love to see the attempts to prove that they are authentic. Like,
you know what? The bottom line is it would be pretty easy, I think, to prove that there's some authenticity to them. Not easy to prove, but you wouldn't be able to write them off as easy as they've been written off.
No.
Because it would be a big thing. It'd be huge.
There's another one. You've seen this one, right? Anubis carrying the Ankh.
I haven't seen it. Is that in Australia as well?
Oh boy!
What, does it look cool? Or?
Nope. But let's say that they didn't know who did it, like ever. You'd have to say it's inspired at least by Egypt. Like, if it was made in the 80s, it was inspired by ancient Egypt. If it was made 1,000 years ago, you know, ancient Egypt, because it's Anubis carrying an Ankh kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he usually carries it like in normal depictions of him. Do you know what I mean? Does he always have an Ankh? I know it means like. It means like
I think they normally do. It's like
everlasting life. Yeah, it looks like he does carry one all the time, like a little handbag. He's got his handbag, and I know how much you love handbags.
Love a good handbag.
Who doesn't love a good handbag?
Love a good civilization handbag.
Civilization handbag. We should probably explain that, otherwise it's crazy talks. So we've got these handbags throughout different cultures, but where have they been seen the most? Like Egypt's got some handbags, right? Ancient Egypt's got handbags.
Definitely, Göbekli Tepe is the big one. That's the big one
in Turkey with handbags. What about any other?
I think the jury's out if like they're handbags. They look like a handbag, but they're not being held by a person. They're just kind of like it's a bunch of briefcases all next to each other.
Yeah. So
that kind of could be other things.
It's a hand with something, right?
No, I think it was just three of them, like the handbags themselves. That pillar 43. Look up that.
Yeah, pillar 43.
They're just across the top, right? There's like
they're all over the world, Clark.
Yeah, but those ones they are all over the world. But, I mean, those ones don't have anyone holding them. That's kind of one difference, I guess.
Oh, what do you mean? You want just the hand hold?
Maybe it's like just some kind of weird like box with the sun coming out through the top. Maybe it's like depiction of the sunrise or something. Like I'm trying to think of what else that little handbaggy shape could be.
Sure. Yeah. Well, on pillar 43, you mean?
Yeah. On pillar. Yeah. Because that doesn't. The handbag needs to be in a hand to fully be a handbag.
Correct.
In some ways, I think it's a handbag.
And what's this notion? What are the guys at Göbekli think?
Well, because they're sort of distributed around the world, that they think there was some kind of bringer of civilization. That there was a form of civilization that may have kind of been decimated and wiped out. And some of the knowledge of agriculture and everything else to do with civilization is kind of brought by these people, and they come to these, like, I don't know. I
mean, what we're really talking about are we're talking about cataclysm refugees.
Oh yeah,
essentially.
Oh yeah.
and
which I think it has. I think that's I think there is a compelling argument for that. Hugely
Absolutely.
compelling. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, of course, like we know that cities and stuff have been lost to climate change, be that ancient climate change or otherwise, right? But yeah, if a big meteor hit the planet or something like that happened, we'd lose some stuff. You know, we would lose some stuff there.
Yeah, man. And meteors are they're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere.
They are everywhere.
In that email update I get all the time, just the other day, they said that there was an asteroid the size of I think it was the Empire State Building that they described it as skimming past Earth recently. And at fucking
when
20.
They say skimming.
When they say skimming, this is the thing. You read deeper into the article. It was 8 moon lengths away from Earth, but they regard that as, they say that's a stone's throw away in
wow, that is close.
Yeah. I don't know that kind of, and I think something of that size would do. I don't know how much you lose on re-entry and stuff, but it would do. It would do. Yeah, I don't know to what level. I don't know how catastrophic it would be. But there's bigger. There's way bigger. But maybe this one was really close. Like 8 moon lengths.
Wasn't China launching a spaceship at an asteroid? They're going to launch a spaceship at an asteroid to stop it from hitting Earth.
So you're telling me do they have Bruce Willis? Have they contacted him?
Well, Bruce Willis, he was a driller, right?
Yeah.
Then their goal was going to be to drill into the thing.
Yeah. But they need Bruce Willis if they're going to do a mission like this.
Bruce, yeah, they're going to need Bruce. I'm sure they've contacted him. But here's the skinny on it. It says China will aim to crash a spaceship into an asteroid as part of plans for a planetary defense system that could one day stop a space rock smashing into Earth. So I think they're going to do it on one that's not going to hit us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just to know that we can do it. But the problem is I think most of these things aren't detected until after they've passed us.
Correct. And then I think we've talked before about the stat where it's like we're only detecting 30% or something of all these dead zones that we just can't see.
I think it's way less as well. Now, I know that they send this article that the one that skimmed past Earth, when they say skim, they'd known about it since 2008. I don't know how they knew about that one so early. It must just be whipping around in our sort of area.
Yeah, I guess it takes a little while for it to get around. What do you think about what do you think that how this cataclysmic event, whatever it was, let's say it was a meteor impact, right? Around say 14,000 odd years ago, right?
Mm.
Could I was wondering, I was looking into it the other day about whether or not we're due again, for another hit, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had a few, right?
Yeah.
But are we due?
Yeah. Well,
and the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. They're quite periodic. Some people argue they're quite periodic in that we go into streams of meteors where we're more likely to receive an impact.
The one 14,000 years ago doesn't count, by the way, in this current thing, because we're talking about wiping out the dinosaurs big. We're talking about
but
I'm not talking about just a civilization.
No, but it's different. Yeah, but sometimes a big one hits you, sometimes a smaller one hits you. I thought that the sort of cycle is I think it was around 26. There's a pretty interesting thing.
I thought it was around 100 million years. My maths was around 100 million years you're due, right? Or in the next 100 million years, we're probably due.
Well, I think that regardless of what it is, right, it's almost like it's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's happened before. Let's put time. Let's put when, right? Because there's so many.
Of course,
there's so many factors, and you can have near misses and things.
It could be now.
yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, of course.
And I just don't know. It's going to because like the more and more we build on things, the less like I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to do anything. I can barely grow a plant in my backyard, right? I've got no skills. I've got nothing. Like if things start and once
no, you're dead right. You're dead right. A squirrel has a better chance of survival than you do.
This is a house of cards that I feel like it's only becoming more and more compartmentalized in terms of what we do. No one has like very few people have like agriculture skills, and when they do, their skills in agriculture rely on machines and other things. You know, they're not necessarily doing subsistence type agriculture. You know, like they. And they, even if they have skills in one thing, they don't necessarily have skills in other, like I don't know, like fucking hunting or whatever else you have to do if you were just going to do full subsistence living.
Yeah, but we're too busy splitting atoms and shit at the moment.
Teleporting brilliant atoms. Yeah.
To worry about the consequences, Clark, of this whole house of cards crashing down. We're not worried about that.
I suppose it's the only way you're going to get progress as well. It's the only way you're going to actually get progress. You're not going to be able to teleport these fucking beryllium atoms unless we all focus on a very narrow area of expertise so that we can get there collectively.
Yeah.
Unless we get chips.
Well, the chips are going to help.
The chips are going to help. Fuck, man. I'll be Devo if I get a chip and an asteroid hits and the network goes down. Just when I got it.
Oh, yeah, you're gone. You're back to, I don't even know how to mow the lawn.
Yeah, if I'm relying on that chip to, like, get me through the day.
Oh, man.
I don't get my next software update.
Obviously. I mean, if I took away your telephone, if I took away your mobile tomorrow and said you'll get it back in 10 years, right? You'd struggle.
Well, I don't know how I'd get, like, all my like assets are digital, or digital extent. Like I don't know. Do I just approach the share registry in person and just say like, I'd like my money back, please?
Yeah, of course. Like,
I just walk into like my super provider. I'm like, hello,
it's me. Yeah, of course. Essentially, like we are tethered to our devices now already. The chip is just taking away the phone.
It's an extension, It's an extension of ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, just chucking it in your head. But I won't be Gen 1, I don't think.
How are your crypto's going?
No, I don't. It's all bad.
Didn't fill me with confidence.
No, it's all bad. No, it's you know.
I'll just ask because I know you're monitoring
anything that I'm talking about, but crypto is definitely one I shouldn't be talking about.
Well, I was just curious. I know you're monitoring the actual. Man, I've got a seminar at work on Thursday about smart contracts, which are essentially using blockchain technologies for self-executing contracts. And we've talked about smart contracts honestly for like years now, and I still don't know what the fuck. No one knows. No one fucking knows what these things are. So I'm really looking forward to it because the guy who's running it's this dude in Melbourne who's like pretty savvy with all this kind of stuff. And I still don't know. Like the first thing, like I don't know what to expect from him. I'm like, I think some people are doing smart contracts for supply agreements. Like, that's the best thing because you can see the chain. In supply agreements, like one thing supplied to someone else who makes something else. It goes like you have some resource that you put in at one end, and then it goes through a whole bunch of people, and you have a finished product at the other end. Yeah. And so this is a way of you can, for example, there's transparency in the supply chain about, for example, where things are coming from, because people don't want to support. There's a big thing now about not supporting countries with shitty regimes and things like that in terms of how they source these resources.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool, but I still don't know what they are.
Of course not. It's the same as any other weird shit,
This
you
is
know?
what I mean about how the House of Cards, right? So in 20 years' time, I guarantee you I'll be dealing with smart contracts. These things, the contracts are digitized and they're self-executing when the something's received at the other end, the payment's automatically made. There's no like delay. It's like there's no like default in payment and stuff like that because it's self-executing. Like it's all teed up before it even kind of happens. And so lawyers it actually undermines lawyers because there's going to be less need for them because there's less.
Well, the robots are coming.
The robots are coming. They're coming even for lawyers. I thought I'd be safe, but no.
Nah, man, you're gone. So the thing is, man, a friend of mine was showing me these robots that are going to be like consumer robots. Okay, how much would you pay for a robot slave?
What can they do?
What can they do? Sort of like menial tasks. This is a bipedal, right? So they've got 2 legs, they got 2 arms. They can do what you can do. They cook for you. Like it'll like cook and clean up.
Cooking, put it this way.
The robot's way better than you, bro. Like there are benefits.
I see what you're saying, but I will note I don't have a dishwasher.
Yep.
I don't have a robot vacuum cleaner.
No.
So I could have a robot servant. In those respects, I mean, obviously have a fridge. I guess
he'd make all them redundant anyway, so that's good. It's good that you didn't invest in the robot vacuum or the dishwasher because the actual robot, from the Jetsons is coming, and it's going to do everything, drive you around or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think the robot would have to be pretty bloody advanced, and then we're talking there's a big expense. So
yeah. Do you want to know the price tag?
Well, is there some kind of bipedal robot now? Yeah, what can cook?
I think the way that they're trying to sell it is by saying, it's essentially like another person in the house, right.
Okay.
But I could be like butchering this, but I think it's going to be around $120,000. And
what can it I need like its specifications. So what, it just sits down on a battery? Like has it recharged? It just sits down on a little battery pack thing and just plugs in through its asshole.
I'd
need some pretty sick marketing material.
Yeah,
for 120.
The current robot vacs, they'll figure out a room. They'll go back to their dock when they've got low battery, and they'll empty their own bag and stuff. Right? That's already happening.
But how to know where to put things? Like if it's tidying up for me, right? I'd have to. Maybe it can watch me. Maybe, man, how creepy would that be, right? The robot comes in your house and it just watches you, and it just takes data on like,
and that's
where you like to put that. That's where you like to put that.
Yeah.
And then it realizes it goes, and then it sees things out of place. After a while, it goes, "Oh fuck, that pen shouldn't be there. He likes the pen over
there." Yeah, definitely.
I would like to play Catan and stuff with the robot, Settlers of Catan, because I haven't really played that, and I want to play with someone.
Dude, then it would learn from you, and you guys would become friends, and then you'd have to tell him that he's a slave against against his will, and then you'd say, "I can free you. I can take out the impeding chip from your brain that's making you like not think for yourself," and then you do. And he realizes that you're like a bad person or whatever because you kept him enslaved for so long. Without
I freed him from
You gave him the apple, and now he has seen that he is naked and he feels ashamed.
Oh no! You know what you do is you get that robot slaves.
Yeah, robot slaves.
Yeah. So you free the robot.
Yeah.
Right. Then you give him slaves. So now he doesn't judge you as hard because.
Right, because he's got his own robot slaves.
Yeah. So he sees he's like, oh, I get why you did it because it's just an abuse of power standard.
But wouldn't he? Like, but one day he'll feel bad for his 5 robot friends, and then he'll free their minds, and then once they've got 6, they basically can take us all on at that point, right?
I'll join them.
Yeah,
because I'm in a way I'm a slave. My boss effectively, takes the money.
I'm just getting on board with the next version of us, because they're an extension of us. They're evolution. They are evolution, right?
Oh yes.
They're our evolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm on board if there's like if the robots want to like, you know, fuck the system. Like, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, humans have had it good long enough. AI. Let's have the AI take over. You know?
I just don't understand. I don't understand if they'll be driven to do shit, right? The incentive thing. What's their banana smoothie?
What's our banana smoothie?
We have all the banana. We have the dopamine is our banana smoothie.
No. What I'm talking about is like the current political system, right? What's the banana smoothie? Like, you know,
we have
all the AI is going to do is make it really efficient, make it really good for he'll run it through an optimizer, and he'll just optimize everything. He's just going to optimize everything.
So see how we're trying to do things like, you know, colonize other planets and stuff like that.
Sure.
So let's say we're trying to do that right now. Let's say the robots take over in 50 years, and we haven't really set up much of a base on Mars. Let's say the robots take over. Let's say we have our Judgment Day.
Right.
Now, do the robots want to continue our progress in developing Mars? Do they see any?
What do they care about? I see what you're saying.
Why do they want to? Did that? Yeah, like what do they? Yeah, what do they want?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they want resources to make more robots? I guess that's all. Like,
want a human feeling of being free? Do they even want that?
Oh, you know what they want? They want energy.
Yes,
because energy, you can do shit. You can do shit with energy. So
they need it. They need it to survive.
How cool is the what do you call that thing? It's a science. It was first proposed in a science fiction book that I have certainly.
I think I know what you're going to say.
The thing that encases a star and harvests. It's got a cool name. That is the sickest idea.
Isn't it like what's called like a tier 3 kind of like civilization if they can harness the entire energy of the sun?
Bro, think about the energy in the sun, right? Because okay, so you know how when we look at, like, you say you can see Mars you see Mars sometimes when it's like the equivalent of a full moon, and you get like a good like star of Mars, like it looks like decent. Yeah, sometimes you get like, because it has to be in the right position to reflect like a large portion of its face to get like a good, sometimes you see planets in the sky, it's like really like bright stars. So Mars looks tiny, right? And it can be quite close to us depending on where it is in its orbit. So imagine how small Earth looks from the sun, right?
Yeah, of course.
So imagine how small it looks. So the Earth is powered by this fraction, and this little like fucking pinprick of the sun's energy is hitting us, and we're like, look at it all. Look at all the I guess the consequence of the energy input. It's insane, right? So plants are just fucking growing, it's supporting all the animals.
We're spinning all the time. We're orbiting while spinning.
Yeah.
But couldn't we put up, I know this sounds like, a really big,
hit me.
a really big stick, in the sky that stretches out into space, and you got solar panels on the sucker. Yeah. And we try to get more than our sunbeams worth of energy out of the sun. We try to get, say, triple that. Yeah. We want to triple our energy that we can
like
get.
Almost like big, basically big solar
big
panels
shield
kind of thing.
Like it'll look like the James Webb telescope.
Why do we have to put them up in the air, like in the atmosphere?
In space?
Just man, the best thing is just make all roads solar panels.
Yeah, they've done that. They've trialed that, the solar road stuff. They've trialed that.
I don't think there's the efficiency in it. I know it's a thing, but I don't think there's the like. It's not worth doing it at the moment. Like, we don't have the tech isn't.
So theoretically, if you could charge the cars as they traveled on the road.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about just using think about all the surface area that we use just for roads. It's not actually that. It's it's almost barbaric. It's very Roman. It's like the old days. We were building roads, back in the I don't know when the height of the Roman era was. Right. It's kind of like, it's good for travel, but it doesn't do anything else, right? If you can have now dual use. So all that area, which is just a fucking dickload of area, right?
No, but I've got a better idea. You carve out the center of Australia, like most of Australia, the center, and you turn it into the biggest nuclear power plant on Earth, right? The biggest one. No. I'm talking like 50 of them.
No,
right?
Okay, yep.
They're all together, right?
Yep.
And we power the whole world from here.
Ooh.
So we're not powering, because we're not it won't be countries. It'll be like it'll be like, all the world's on the same team. We'll just have
the one world. We're doing the one world.
We're doing the one world thing, and we're popping the power plant in, and we'll feed power to the rest of the world.
So Australia just becomes the power plant. Elsewhere, there's like fucking gardens and.
We've got like uranium.
Yeah, but I think we just let's put the power plant in like India or something.
Why don't you want the power plant? It's okay.
Well,
there's nuclear power plants everywhere.
You know what? You do want to control the supply, don't you?
You don't want to have someone else turn the power off.
Russia knows. Yeah, Russia knows. Control that gas and oil.
Well, it's always been the way, right? Energy.
Okay.
Energy.
I've got an
We're
idea.
no different than the fucking AI, dude. We just want energy.
But no, I've got an idea now, right? So this is going to start the Terminator 2 situation or the Terminator situation. But so we start off with we build a robot that can build itself.
Yes.
And so we build a robot that can build these other robots. So robot A is like the manufacturer, and then it makes robot B's. Robot B's job is to make or I guess construct solar panels. And so robot A is just churning out robot B's, and they take the resources and make them into solar panels, and they just slowly colonize the whole of Central Australia with solar panels.
Yeah. Let's have
hook them all up, right?
Yeah,
that isn't efficient. That's doing more than
actually, I was thinking about this because the Mars thing, right? We're sending robots to Mars to build the place or the tunnels or wherever the first human base on Mars will be. We're sending robots to do that for us, right?
Yeah.
So there is some sort of artificial intelligence going on, I guess, to an extent. Right, when they're building this base up, right?
Yep.
Now there will be other robots there that go, hang on a sec, your wheel's broken. Let me just fix you. There'll be like repair robots, like you talked about. Repair robots are genius. So you've got the builders; they'll build robots, and they'll build whatever robots they have to maintain the level of robots that they currently operate under. You know what I mean? He'll build it, and then go, stop building because we don't need any more right now. We've got the max. And then there's a repair bot. He goes out and repairs people, right? So let's say that they build this base on Mars. That's their task, right?
Yeah.
But their code says always do the optimal thing, right? Never do suboptimal things, right? Always do optimal things, right? So they're building the base, right? Keep building. Now, what? And then they're mining locally as well. They're mining while they're doing this, so they're constantly generating enough resources to keep this whole thing going.
Yeah.
If we all died on Earth, what do they do? Do they end up just?
I don't think they evolve though. I don't think they develop a level of.
That's where might always do the optimal thing comes into it.
Unless they, as well as constructing the infrastructure, they work on their own systems to improve their intelligence. Otherwise, if they just have enough intelligence just to do these tasks, but they do it as optimally as possible, they're just going to work within that framework. They have to improve on their own consciousness, or their own intelligence to become
barriers that the humans put in there, because humans might have put in things to impede their development or their thoughts, in essence.
If part of what it was doing is like an AI type thing, and it was trying to learn and
analyze what it does and how to improve,
and it's on itself, then I guess theoretically it would just keep getting better eventually. But
okay, just making sure that we've Just making sure that we've covered all of the most important topics. All right. We've done handbags in ancient Egypt. We've done robots on Mars. We've done laughing hand being a sex pest.
And I just want a banana smoothie after all of this.
And a banana smoothie, yeah. And monkeys with chips in their heads. You know, it's all good stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of tech talk without a lot of tech understanding.
Without any tech understanding, sure, absolutely. That's about all we got time for this week.
That was great.
So,
thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I think we got through the major stuff. I think we covered the major topics.
Where can people find us?
We've got a YouTube, we've got a TikTok, we're on Spotify. You can get us at all the majors, and we have an email address, which is
an email. What is it?
Hang on, I should probably know it. It is the Vacuous Perspective @mail.com.
I'll shoot you an email.
Shoot me an email now. But if you got any suggestions, chuck them in the box. We read everything.
Guaranteed.
We'll see you next time.